In this episode, I show you one of the most elaborate and beautiful deck series I've featured to date, a commemoration of the National Playing Card Collection Day. I invite you to show me your collection for a chance to win one of these majestic decks for yourself, and I announce the winner of the Provision Playing Cards deck. Keep it here. This episode marks the beginning of a very busy holiday season here at the Wake residence. Coming up, there's a great Halloween episode and then all the craziness of Black Friday right after Thanksgiving. Not to mention a very TGW Christmas video and the New Year's Day video, which brings with it my top 10 decks of 2019 countdown. But the holiday season starts right now, or rather yesterday for those of you watching on the day it goes out, October 17th, otherwise known as National Playing Card Collection Day, or NPCCD for short. As has been the ritual for the last 4 years, Seasons Playing Cards founder and designer Alex Chin has put together a truly epic, very limited edition commemorative deck set, and I'm going to review that for you in this episode. Make sure to stick around all the way to the end too for a chance to win a deck of the NPCCD 2019 cards for yourself. And remember, for the best content for playing card enthusiasts, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. As I mentioned, this deck set is the fourth NPCCD set furnished by Seasons Playing Cards and Alex Chin. Last year's entry, the 2018 edition, made it to my top 10 decks list of 2018 due to its uniquely brilliant design and beauty. And if there's one thing Alex can be counted on, it's an elaborate collection of additions and options for his deck sets, and this entry is no different. The NPCCD 2019 decks come available in 6 different varieties. Just about all of them include some unique elements that make them all worth exploring, if not owning. The decks all come in different permutations of the same gorgeous 2-piece tuck box. The boxes feature raised intaglio inking on both the outside slipcase and the inner box, as we'll soon see. The paper stock is a luxurious pearlescent premium cardstock that sets off the fine details of the line work. The 6 versions include 2 white locked editions, one with gold intaglio ink and the other with silver, 2 black unlocked editions, again one with gold and the other with silver. We'll get into what locked and unlocked means as well, and a green edition with silver ink and a gold on gold King's Arch edition. We'll explore the differences in detail in a moment. Alex Chin's inspiration for this year's deck comes from the North African kingdom of Morocco. Morocco is an ancient country dating back to 788 AD on the northern coast of the continent, just above the Great Sahara Desert. It's a thriving, culturally rich place, and nowhere is that more evident than in the wonderful architecture and craftsmanship of its people, which we'll see echoed in the design of the NPCCD 2019 decks. The front of the tuck cases includes a wonderful design built around interlocking Arabesque tiles with intricate linework layers on a bed of ornate patterns. In the middle, the year and title appear, plus the edition name, the Palace Edition. We'll get a better clue as to why Alex Chin chose that name shortly. The sides of the box feature more linework and arabesque elements. One side reads "Designed in Morocco," the other reads "Unlock the Gate," which is a challenge we'll see further elaborated on in the palace motif. The inner slipcase is held in place by a white tapestry style sticker seal with an arabesque silhouette. The sticker is designed to fit perfectly within the boundaries of the design on the tuck case themselves. These are limited editions, as I mentioned, with each variant of the deck being limited to only 499, with the exception of the Gold King's Arch edition, which is limited to only 249. The numbering is printed on each seal, my set being number 49. Furthermore, each edition has an inner tuck case printed on yet another color of pearlescent paper. Some are mint green, others are a copper tone, yet another has white paper stock, and the gold edition includes a black paper stock inner slipcase. The back of the boxes includes a die-cut keyhole that shows us a peek to the inner slipcases. In the unlocked editions, that includes a silvery dark mirror-like window that gives us a hint of the cards within. These tuck cases are obviously gorgeous and they feel premium to the touch. The raised ink gives the boxes a wonderful texture. The set Alex sent me to review was so gorgeous that opening them felt like I was, somehow desecrating the artwork. But of course I had to do it for science. I will say that I struggled with adequately explaining the differences each deck contained, but I hope the pictures will do some of the talking. Gently peeling back the seals allowed me to slide out the inner boxes. Here, I discovered that each box could not only vary in color, but in cut of the design as well. Also revealed is that the inside of the outer boxes include more elaborate design work. The white editions featured no die-cut openings, only a solid inner tuck case with an image of a closed or locked gate. A set of double doors set in an arabesque archway, complete with tiled walls bristling with detail. The black unlocked editions earned their name by having the gates found on one side of the white edition's inner slipcase open. There's a reflective plastic that acts as a two-way mirror affixed to the box in the opening. More on that in a bit. The gold and green editions have two open archways, yet only one includes the metallic mirror film. The other is just an open cutout. Putting the cards aside for a moment, the interior of these slipcases feature more architectural line work, carrying the motif forward. Given enough light, in this case a small handheld camera light, the reflective nature of the film gives way, like a two-way mirror in an interrogation room, and the inner box gains the optical illusion of a never-ending hallway, with the mirror plate reflecting the opening and detail within. To further elaborate on this element, the black editions include a gorgeous shot of the inner courtyard of a Moroccan palace in perspective, complete with an 8-pointed star-shaped fountain, tiled walkways, verandas, and additional arches. It's possible to line up the inner boxes to create a better infinite hallway. The lighting in the gentleman's study is a bit intense, so I wasn't able to overwhelm it enough to provide a perfectly clear image of the effect, but Alex Chin has a great example of what it looks like on his Facebook page. It's a great idea and well executed. I want to take this moment to thank my wonderful patrons who help me bring you the content on this channel. I'm going to be making some adjustments and improvements to the Patreon experience, so there's really no better time to be a patron of this channel. Visit wake.video/Patreon for more info on how to support what we do. The real draw, despite the amazing tuck cases, are the cards themselves, and in typical Alex Chin fashion, these are just as elaborate and multifaceted as the tucks. There are 3 different card back designs, 2 different face designs, and some additional added value in the form of Scodex printing, and I'll explain what that is in a few. Each variant of the tuck comes with a slightly different deck. Still taking every visual cue from the Moroccan design that inspired them, the cardbacks are designed to mimic the patterns of ceramic tiles, called Celige tiles, found on the walls, floors, and ceilings of the region's palaces. The first of the 3 is what I like to call the wall design, and features dark blue and green tile elements with gold accents and white lines in arabesque forms, designed to mimic the white grout between tiles. This version has a soft poker style border. The second card back, I'll call it the ceiling pattern, features a 2-way interlocking web of line work, culminating in flower-like sunbursts like you'd see staring up at the inside of a domed great hall. Some cross-hatching lines create small 5-pointed stars. The final card back design, also my favorite, is the floor tile pattern and features a full bleed circular sunflower arrangement of burnt orange and dark blue petals inlaid with cream shapes that feels reminiscent of the finest Moroccan mosaic floor. Two of the cardback designs, the first and third, include a raised ink effect that really cements the architectural motif, giving the cards an almost realistic tile feel. This is accomplished using a process called Scodex printing, which uses hardened oil to create smooth, raised textures on printed paper. It really recreates the porcelain look of a polished ceramic tiled wall or walkway. It's great on either design, but really effective on the floor tile variant. The Arabesque notes resonate deeply with me. Right here in the study, I have recreations of two famous oil paintings by renowned French artist Jean-Léon Gérôme. Both the portrait of the Bashi Bazouk and the Greek national hero Markos Botsaris feature many details reminiscent of the Ottoman era flair seen on these decks. For those of you interested in art history, Gérôme's magnificent work is well worth checking out. He spent many years living in North Africa and painted many gorgeous representations of the region's everyday life. As I mentioned before, the decks include two versions of the faces, one on traditional white stock found on the wall tile versions, and a second black version on the faces of the other two back design options. This is obviously a completely custom deck. Each card furthers the architectural motif with columns, archways, and tiled backgrounds, and includes indices in all four corners of the cards, which means either right-handed or left-handed fans result in a peek at the indices. The pips are small and custom, with the club pip being the most colored by the Arabesque influence. Placement is also unique and well thought out. The court cards are different than what you would expect. Here they forego the traditional figured court cards in favor of treating them like spot cards. The jacks having 11 pips, the queens 12, and the kings 13, which of course is the traditional numerical value for those cards. I was actually a bit disappointed to not find some Arabesque-inspired illustrated court members, like those seen on Lautrec's Arabesque deck, but perhaps this is a more original way to approach it. It's definitely unusual to be sure. I should also mention that the ceiling card back variant included in the green and silver and the gold on gold tucks has one additional feature. Instead of utilizing the Scodex printing technique to accentuate the backs, here Alex Chin has chosen to texturize card faces instead. The columns, archways, and pips take on a nice three-dimensional feel, and light glints off them nicely. The gold on gold King's Arch edition holds one more secret. The cards are gilded in gold. After all that, with all of the different options, you could easily be forgiven for getting confused as to what edition has what. I suppose the argument could have been made to simplify the choices a bit, but as is customary with playing cards produced by Alex Chin, there are always a wealth of options and upgrades to consider. Personally, I could have done without one of the back designs perhaps. The ceiling version in particular is my least favorite, but I still respect all of the work and energy he's put into creating these amazing cards, and I do like them even more than I liked last year's offering, which I held in very high esteem. To recap, the white and gold version and white and silver version, considered the simplest editions, include the non-Scodex standard versions of the wall and floor tile variant card backs respectively. The black and gold and black and silver versions include the tile effect wall and floor variant card backs. The green and silver includes the Scodex printed black card faces and the ceiling card back pattern. The gold on gold is the same as the green, but features gold gilded edges. Traditionally, Alex has gone with the United States Playing Cards Company for printing his decks. These, however, with their complex permutations, Scodex effects, gilded options, and low print runs, were handled by a different printer, MakePlayingCards.com or MPC. Despite the different printer choice, the cards handle well enough. The stock is a bit sturdier than the premium crush stocks from the USPCC or Cardamundi. The basic decks, or rather those without the Scodex printing, feel just as you'd expect a high quality deck to feel. Springs are easy Pharaohs as well. They are traditionally cut. Where we do see some differences, especially in the thickness of the cards themselves, is the Scodex printed decks, which are noticeably thicker, no doubt due to the raised effect. In all, there are about 8 to 10 cards thicker than a standard deck, which actually explains why the standard decks include a black cardboard insert within the tuck case to help fill out the box to keep them all uniform in size. What this means for handling is that the decks are a bit cumbersome to spring, although the added airflow between the cards means packet cuts and fans are still surprisingly easy. Even farrowing the decks is possible. The green and silver and gold on gold editions are modern cut, farrowing back to front, likely because the raised Scodex ink is on the faces of these cards rather than the backs. Even the Gilded edition handles nicely, and the edges hold up to farrowing the deck as well. The decks are available via a portal on Alex Chin's portfolio52.com website, which will link you through to an elaborate product page that discusses all of the options in additional detail. Although again, it still feels a little bit confusing. The random deck option is listed at $36, which will result in customers receiving one of the decks with the 499 edition sizes. All of the decks are nice, but it would be really frustrating for me not to be able to choose which deck in particular I wanted, my favorite being the floor tile black tug case edition. There are bundled deals for 3 decks, 4 and 5, and I believe the ultra limited gold on gold is only available to purchasers of the full 6 deck set. For absolute completionists out there, I probably should mention that there does exist a 52 plus Joker convention exclusive blue tuck case version with blue gilding. This one is no longer available through non-aftermarket avenues. I want to extend my gratitude to Alex Chin, Seasons Playing Cards, and Portfolio52.com for providing me these decks to review for you. For a chance to win a prototype edition of the hyper exclusive gold on gold King's Arch edition of the NPCDD 2019 deck, here's what you have to do. 1. Like this video. 2. Comment below telling me more or less how many decks you think you have in your card collection. And 3. Share a picture of your collection with me on Instagram. Don't forget to tag me. I'll share some of the best picks in a future video. Congrats to Henry A. Smith Jr., winner of the Provisions Playing Cards deck. Contact me via IG to claim your prize. To watch a review detailing another great deck set from Alex Chin and Seasons Playing Cards that includes thermal-responsive paper, click on the video that will appear right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been the Gentleman Wake. See you next time.